Disclaimer, this was my first time being a one-man band, so I cut our heads off.
Yeah, bro, this, you know what I'm saying, Louisiana Hot Sauce Podcast, man, we coming to you, bro, putting it down, you know what I'm saying, G-Style, we in Dallas, man, at the Daiquiri shop, man, putting it down, you know, we actually not in Dallas, we in Grand Prairie, you know what I'm saying, Grand Prairie, man, where it go down there, man, there's a lot of people from the boot out here, bro, you know what I'm saying, and I got none other with me, man, player nigga from the South, bro. You know what I'm saying? Got my nigga A.Dupar in here, man. What's going down, man? Old school G, bro. What it do, man?
Appreciate you having me on, man.
I appreciate you coming
been
through,
checking out that Louisiana hot sauce. You know what they say about hot sauce? They go good on everything. So
everything, bro.
Love what you doing, man.
Bro, real talk, man. I appreciate the love, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's
bro,
up.
Man, I wanted you to come through, man, and sprinkle us with the game, bro. And, you know what I'm saying? Let us know how it been going down for you, man. How you been, you know what I'm saying? How you been handling business, bro, and how it's been looking for you, bro.
Man, look, I've been out here, man. Dallas, it's a city, man, as you see you out here too. It's a city of opportunities, man. You know where we come from. It's that closed mind mindset. So you know what I'm saying? It got a lot of gatekeepers to the jobs and shit we could get and all that type of stuff like that. So you got us start acting like crab in a barrel. We can't even, you know, show each other love because there's only a few spots we can really mess with to get bread. So, you know, you got people out there that's hungry and then shit. Of course, they gonna watch out for family and shit like that. So when you move out to a spot like that, I said all that just to say, you get a lot more opportunity because it's a lot more shit popping and there's a lot more ways to get your own bread. So from where I had moved around in the military and just kind of seen some shit. Then when I was out there, I was stationed at Fort Hood. So Houston, Dallas, San Antonio was all kind of around the base. So we used to kind of move around in them cities. I had kinfolks out here. I had some older kinfolks out here in Dallas, and I just loved the vibe, man. It was just a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go get that back home feel. You can go out there to the cliff. You feel like, you know what I'm saying, like you in Evergreen, or Villa Valley, or something like that. Or you can go out there to, you know what I'm saying, North Dallas, and you can chill, man, like you in a whole nother world.
So right.
So it was just that getting out here and just seeing a different mindset, man. Just seeing shit still open at 10 o'clock at night. When you come across the highway, lights lit up. You know what I'm saying? That do shit to kids back home, man. Everything dark, broke down and shit. You know what I'm saying? That closed their mind off. So that's kind of how I got out here, Dallas, moving around. I kind of like this city more than, because Houston, I love Houston, but it was like Alexandria to me.
Yeah,
everybody was still on the, you know, we swangers, they swangers. We get the shit from them. So it was kind of like the same mindset. So I'm like, I don't want to go out there and do what I'm doing back home. So Dallas kind of was that happy medium, man, where I was kind of close to home. Money, opportunity, so I'm like, I'm going to roll with Dallas. So that's kind of how I got set up out here.
Yeah. So, like, when you came out here, like, what year was that? You come straight out of high school?
Nah.
Out here, I mean, straight from the service? You say you went to the service?
Yeah, I did the military from 97 to 2000. That's when I left Peabody. But I did go back to Alexandria for a little while. I hadn't been home, you know, in a few years because I left at 17.
Right.
So by me going away for a little while, I just wanted to be home, kind of mess with little college, did some electrician stuff. But I noticed I was starting to get back to the same stuff I was doing before I left. So I'm like, do I keep doing this? Or do I start thinking long term? I'm like, I already got military stuff in place. I don't want to mess that up doing nothing crazy out here, getting caught up with some shit. Because I'm going to tell you what's crazy. Right before I went to the military, just so happened, they was doing a little party for me. We had just graduated. Secret indictment month. We was on the dead end of the valley. And just so happened, man, my partner, God bless the dead, D Valley, his uncle, just had a little something on him, man. We fresh out of high school, so everybody, we had money on us. People give, you know how people be at graduation show, giving you a little bread. So everybody had money. So cops patting us down. They see how much bread we got. Think his uncle did some shit in the thing, but nobody wouldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like, man, we ain't finna tell who did that, man. So we all sitting there, so they start breaking us up in the yard. Put us to the side. He pulled me to the side. He said, man, what you doing out here? I said, bro, we just got a little party going, man. I said, actually, I'm leaving for the military this week. He said, where you going? I told him Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, whatever. He said, oh, Fort Lost in the Wood, Missouri. He said, you stand over here. We finna catch enough of you. But I came back home. You like that, man. Just being out there moving around the streets. I didn't want to get caught up in nothing crazy. So I was like, after a few years, that's when I gone here and shot the Dallas. I'm like, okay, I done had enough of that. I love it, but I gotta move around.
What branch of the military you went to?
I was in the Army. For 3 years, man. I was a patrolling supply specialist, man. I was out there. Anybody mess with the military, they know 17 Cab, man. That's one of the it's one of the hard units in the military. All they do is stay in the field and all that. So I had a bad taste in my mouth. I ain't never been no outside kid. You know, in the 8, we don't do no hiking and shit. Sleeping outside. So being in the field all the time, I'm like, yeah, this might not be what I want to do long term.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how that went.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And so then, once you left the military, you come out here to Dallas, you know what I'm saying? And what you start working like a little 9 to 5, start doing anything out here?
Start doing that, man. When I first came out here, like my background, military, was logistics. And like a lot of people really ain't, really know the extent of logistics until COVID hit. When you start hearing about shit shut down, shit can't be transported, shit can't be, supplies missing, supply counts off, you know what I'm saying? Getting N95 masks and stuff like that. So I always deal with numbers, but in the military it was more fuel. I dealt with fuel and ammunition. Dealt with that type of stuff, but numbers is numbers. Whether it's money, I'm counting your bread, or I'm counting how much supplies you're supposed to have. So that's kind of like the lane I was in. So I started out working jobs like that. First job though, actually, was Office Depot, warehouse. Couldn't get on nowhere, couldn't even get on at the VA. Veterans was hard for us to even get on at the VA. So you know what I'm saying? So I started working there, and from there, man, I just kind of climbed up to the ranks. Put in my time at like Side Motor Freight, man. That's if anybody know that, that's a dock. That's a major trucking company, but I was working overnight, working graveyard shifts. You got people there 20 years, they ain't coming off there, they schedule, they don't care about you got a new baby, these old cats. So I'm in there hurting. So I put in my time from that. That's when I got into the hospital field, man. Worked at Parkland up to supervisor kind of management level. Start dealing with their supplies, so that was crazy during COVID. And now I'm at the VA. So I just kind of moved up, man. Just kept progressing, seeing stuff I wanted to do, and just tried to move on like that. Stayed in my field, but just trying to do different shit. So that's kind of how I moved around.
How you get, like, what gave you the notion to say, hey, I want to do this podcast thing. I want to, you know what I'm saying, be down with it.
So the podcast, I'm gonna tell you how that came about, cause like anybody know you, anybody know me, they'll tell you like I keep my circle tight. You know what I'm saying? I only really talk same people all the time.
Right.
So for one, it pushed me outside of my comfort zone. But in 2019, that's when my mom passed, and it was sudden. And me and her used to bounce ideas off each other and stuff, cause she was, she thought like me. I was an extension of her. So for me, from that point, it kind of became like an outlet. And then I saw a lot of people doing it, but I'm like, it was all looked like it was one lane. It was about bullshit, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing. I'm like, man, we got black people out here doing some real good stuff, man, but we don't highlight that. We'd rather highlight the negative stuff, the fights, and you know what I'm saying? Who got secret indictment charges? And it's cool if, like I say, if that's your lane, if that's what you to do, but that's what I ain't want to stand on it. So I wanted my foundation to be something, because like after all that, who shot Meg in the foot shit over with, okay, now what you got to talk about? You waiting on the next miss and gossip, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted mine to be something solid, and I knew enough people doing shit from like my class. You see, I done interviewed a lot of people from the 8 that's just doing major stuff, and I'm like, man, let's highlight them and let them see some positive images versus us, you know what I'm saying, always on some bullshit. So that's kind of how I did the podcast. It came about, like I say, with something tragic, passing of my mom, but again, just like my birthday, 9/11. I took that back when I was making music. I took that and made that my rap name because it was so tragic. But my mom was like, that's the best day of my life. That you were my first child. So 9/11 would never be tragic to me. And I don't, gloss over to all the victims and stuff, RIP to that. But my mom, like, that day will never be that tragic to me. So that's why I got it tatted on me. 9/11 will always be a special day. It's my birthday. But again, it was something tragic that I had to turn into something positive. So that's what all I'm about, man, because in life, what you do know, you're going through tragedy, you're going through trauma. If you not somebody you close to it, so it's always affecting you in some type of way. But
and
you gotta
that's the name of your podcast, right?
AVG podcast. So it's like always visualize your goals, So just you can't be complacent with the mindset. You always got to think about the next move, make that your best move. So I always, and that really, that came from, I'm from the village, so
Right.
it came from a spin off our neighborhood back in the day. But again, something not just negative, ain't nothing negative about it, but it was something we was doing, Canaan Village Gangsters, but I always visualize your goals, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's how that came about. So it just always, I try to put a positive spin on everything, because you can't have evil without good, you can't have good without evil.
Right. That's so true, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad, you know what I'm saying, that you all handle your business, bro, and
For sure.
put it down like that, you feel me?
For sure.
Because everybody got their story, you know what I'm saying?
For
And
sure.
we deserve to hear, just like you say, the good part, bro. We don't
Exactly.
always have to listen to the bad, always hear about the bad, bro.
Exactly.
Bro, it's always somebody doing positive, bro. It always is, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to highlight and showcase, you know what I'm saying, bro, the good parts, you know what I'm saying? And that's what my podcast is about as well. Like, man, we trying to highlight the good parts, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Aiden seen so much trouble. He done seen too much trouble. Like you say, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
We done had our fair portion, you know what I'm saying? So, like, bro, we just trying to get to the good part, man. Like Kiki said, bro.
When we gonna get to the good part, for real.
To the good part, you know what I'm saying? So,
and it's hard out there, because they got, like you got that fentanyl on the street now. So you got, man, and it's like crazy, because you like, man, how powerful is a drug when you see, your circle of partners, you see one fall off, you see another fall off, or you see a family and you still go mess with it. Like, how powerful is that, man? Like, that's crazy. And, I've lost family members to it, so anybody going through it, man, it's only one way out of it. So you can shake that demon, man. Get off that, man. Please.
Please, man. Yeah,
Please,
it's hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I interviewed my partner on Dominique. I don't know if you know Dominique Teasley, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he a drug counselor now. You know what I'm saying? And, bro, he was like, man, the statistics so high with people dying on this fentanyl, bro. Like, it's crazy. It's just, and I said, I know it's around the world, because I look at it on Instagram all day, every day. People getting popped with different types of drugs.
Yeah.
It be fentanyl based.
And then look, you think that maybe I gotta tell my high school, man, I saw it on the news, like you say, just here the other day, 6th grade. His parents got him pumping it at school. Your 6th grade child ain't even thinking like that. I'm gonna take a piece of candy. Kids, give me that. Let me taste it. Your kid dead, man.
For
nothing,
bro.
For nothing, bro.
Bro, it's crazy, bro. And that's why I say, man, bro.
It's wild,
hard,
man.
You know what
It's
I'm saying?
wild.
It's gonna be hard to kind of break, you know what I'm saying? Because, especially in Alexandria, being that we so, you know what I'm saying, frugal. I'm gonna say that. Feel me? Like, we like to save our paper. We don't like to spend our money like that. You know what I'm saying? And when the people came to us, like, because first it was the heroin. First they came with the heroin, like, bro, it's just like Tuss. It's just like this. It's just like that. To give you similarities to make you feel like, oh yeah, well, if it's the same thing, then I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, and that what started it off. Then,
damn sure right.
And then, like, the fentanyl, I don't know if it's cheaper or how, you know what I'm saying? I really don't know.
Don't want to know.
Like, real talk,
Like,
you
for real,
feel me?
yeah.
But it's like, man, it's taking over the city. It's taking
over.
over the world, really, you know
For
what I'm
real.
saying?
Like, you got
Because,
people,
you know,
like, really
it's
looking like
eyes.
zombies right here, man. Really looking like zombies. Like,
I'm talking about
I'm
they
gonna tell you
grow
what's
up.
crazy, bro. Like, when I was growing up, we'll be riding down, my daddy from the Rock Island quarters. That's like kind of like where I just told you that story about that little secret indictment. But like, if you know, behind Winfield Funeral Home, you see where it get bricks at right there on the street in the back end of the vat.
Yeah.
That was called like the Rock Island quarter back in the day. That's where my daddy from.
Okay.
But anyway, long story short, we used to be riding up Broadway, Low Third. He'd be like, "Oh, that's my partner right there." I'm like, "That's your partner." This was back in the day when my daddy looked young. I'm like, "That's your partner?" Like, shit, like your daddy partner. Now I'm going home and I'm showing my son, like, "Hey, Dose, that's one of my," or somebody walk off top, "Daddy, who's that?" That's one of my partners. We went to school together. But it's that drug, man. They gone. Who I went to school with ain't there no more. Cause this shit here, man, they like for real, like Michael Jackson, man.
For
Like
real,
walking
bro.
around gone.
Man, it's hard, bro. I just pray, man. You know what I'm saying? That we,
That's all we can do,
I don't
bro.
know what else to do.
There's real live demons out here.
Real talk, man. I just thankful for anybody that's trying to do anything positive. You know what I'm saying? And
For real.
maybe, you know what I'm saying, they'll see it and be like, all right, bro, this is killing me. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing my family, bro. Like,
For
it's,
real.
yeah, man, maybe it'll change, bro. You know what I'm saying?
All we can do is hold on to hope, man, for that, man.
Yo.
Like we witness say, man, I believe the children of the future, but we losing them, man. Whether we busting, shooting with guns, or we shooting up in our veins, or man, we losing them.
Yo.
Like shit, when the children of the future, we ain't got no kids, then what's the future?
What's the future?
You know what I'm saying? We left a rip rap. We're gonna be walking around this bitch like I am legend. You know what I'm saying? But
So
yeah,
like when you do your podcast, how often do you do yours? Like,
I'm gonna tell you that's crazy, and a lot of people ask me that, bro. I think different, so I kind of move different. I don't really have no, and I say I need to really get a schedule, how I drop and all that, but I really don't have no schedule because it's how topics and how shit kind of flow to me.
Yeah.
So as it come to me, I'll be like, okay, yeah, or I might go through a stretch where I'm knocking them out. You see me pump out, boom, 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 but then I might go through a stretch. Cause man, I'm gonna tell you what, like that internet, you only can consume so much, bro.
right.
So I might knock out some boom, boom, boom. Then I see some stories. I just be like, man, look, I don't even want to talk about this. I don't want to push no content out. I just push some old stuff out, run that through the stories and stuff like that. So as far as like a set schedule, I ain't got no set schedule, but I just try to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? I try not to never go without months without dropping some type of new episode. And I do 21. Anybody know me too? They know like Dion, my favorite football player. When I played cornerback, I was wearing 21. So each season has 21 episodes. So that's kind of how I do that. I get up to 21, then I break for a little pause, run it back again. Then I cover some of everything, so it's always something to talk about. That's why I said you ain't just no one-way podcast. But I'm gonna tell you the negative side of that. One-way podcast, they establish an audience. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't bad to be one-way because you know who you talking to every time. That's what they tuning in for. My shit kind of all over the place, but that's how I think. I ain't just no one-way thinking. So I might get more listens on some sports pods than I do on something political, but I let the crowd judge that. I don't put myself in a box because I can't just do no one thing because I'm gonna get bored and I ain't gonna fuck with it like that. So that's kind of how it came about, and that's kind of how I break down the podcast. No schedule, but I just be consistent.
You got a co-host? Or just
That's another thing, bro. I do everything by myself. One-stop shop, one-man band, cameras, set all that up, lighting, set all that up. Sometimes my son, though, ironically enough, or my daughter, they'll pitch me ideas. So I be calling them, you know, like I see the white people do it, you know what I'm saying? Put their name for credits and shit. So if this shit ever get to a point where it's making bread, and my executive producers, you know,
Right,
they
exactly.
They gave me ideas. They done got, you know, I was like use my daughter lighting us or her computer, or laptop. So that's kind of how I do that. But for as far as like content, what I do is all by myself. Somebody running to somebody like you might pitch an idea or something, but like, yeah, that's a good topic or something. Or I might see somebody doing something positive. I reach out to them, hey, you interested? I want you on the podcast. I want to highlight what you're doing. So that's kind of how that is. I do everything by myself, man, because if I always been the type of person, W or L, win or lose, I did that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I did that. So if shit don't go nowhere, guess what? I can look in the mirror and say, man, you ain't do shit with that. But if it take off, guess what? I can look in the mirror and say, I can shake my own hand. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that is.
That's player too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, bro, you know what I'm saying? I tip my hat and show nothing but love, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm younger than you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, of course, you know what I'm saying? We looked up to y'all guys, man, you know what I'm saying? And it's like y'all boys watching you. I know you been handling business, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, I gotta reach out to the big homie, you know what I'm
For
saying?
real, that's what's up.
And show love, you feel me? And see,
That's
you know
what's
what I'm
up.
saying? And what it do on this little old thing I got going on. You feel me?
Hey, that's that hot sauce though. Keep sprinkling it.
Real
Look,
talk,
I see
man.
you post. I think what you had ESG PV out, man. Keep
Yeah,
sprinkling it. Man. I tell you,
yeah.
hot sauce go good on everything, man. So
Real
keep
talk,
doing what you're
man.
doing,
You
bro.
know what what I'm saying? And I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate you coming through and fucking with me, man.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying?
For real.
Real
For real.
talk, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, bro. Once we gonna do this shit again, bro. You know what I'm saying? I
For sure.
appreciate y'all tuning in to Louisiana Hot Sauce, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coming to you live, bro. From
Yeah,
Grand
yeah.
Prairie, man. From the daiquiri shop, man. You know what I'm saying? Put
Yes,
it
sir.
down, bro. Real talk.